Welcome back to the Seraphine podcast. I am Seraphine and I am with Chelsea Atia. Hello, beauty.
Hi.
I am about to dive in to the episode Who Told Her?
Who told her?
Oh my gosh. So we start out with the Hills gang and we have the first scene with Ashley and with Audrina talking about her pregnancy and planning a shower reveal, like a baby reveal.
Yeah, gender reveal.
But then they want to
they want it to be a surprise because it's an announcement. It's a gender reveal, which that's crazy that she hasn't shown so much to where people don't know. That's crazy. I kind of love that. And then she wants it to be a surprise. So she was like, well, it's Jason's 1 year sober anniversary. So maybe we could use that as the party, and then at that party we'll announce.
It was a lot. To me, I just feel like you could have had a party. I think that the overhanging kind of this sober theme that is in every single episode. I'm I get it. This is a storyline with Jason, but Jason is more than his sobriety. I like his storyline with Justin Bobby.
Me too.
I'd like to see more of that. I just feel like it encourages people to be the patron saint of something. And I think that it almost puts people at a detriment when you are the token sober person. Or for instance, when Garcelle and Crystal, when we're talking about our other show, being the token black person or the token, Asian person. I like to talk about real problems, but when it literally is, now it's overshadowing her pregnancy, where I'm I get it. I understand too the whole thing of her last pregnancy with their daughter. He was basically drunk for all of it. So I guess they're celebrating that he's not a drunk ass for this pregnancy. But cringy.
It was a little cringy.
So, they have this conversation. She gives this task to Audrina, where, I was kind of excited to see what she did, but Audrina's like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. And I'm like, okay, let's see what she comes up with.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because, they show this whole scene with her, and the person who I would think would put a great shower together is Whitney.
Yes.
Whitney comes in to help her out, but it was a little weird to have Whitney kind of come in and not go to shower.
It was a little random, to be honest. I think Whitney has her own family, and I think she's kind of over the fame anyways, but I think they just were catching up. I think she's a little overwhelmed. She also has her businesses and stuff, so I think she was just
It was a cute little cameo, I guess.
It was cute.
But let's just talk for a second about Whitney. I love that she just owns, she's like an aristocratic SoCal girl.
She is.
She's got this kind of I don't know, she's got a little I could be married to a Kennedy vibe, but she also has the side talk like Drew Barrymore, where she's got her lips together and she's just dishing about the gossip. I love that she's got elegance, but she still has her SoCal vibe.
She does. That's a great comparison. And I really like Whitney, always have. She's one of those very likable characters.
She really is. And Audrina and her, I love how throughout the whole conversation, we all have our little fidgety things we do.
Yeah.
But I love that they were fidgeting with the roses.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of need to do that. I kind of need to have instead of playing with your hair.
Yeah, which I was just doing.
Right? I'm give me a rose and I'll talk slow. And
yes.
I was literally kind of in a trance in that scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not a lot of content, but a lot of cool looking things going on. So we've got that whole thing going on. But what I love is the total antithesis of this is the burrito conversation with Brody and Spencer.
I can't believe Spencer went to Air One, which is notoriously an overpriced grocery store in LA, and gets all these organic, natural ingredients and then takes it to a food truck and has them make this breakfast burrito and takes it to Brody.
It's insane.
He's so extra. I love Spencer though. I think he is hilarious.
He owns that he's a bougie dude. He drinks champagne all the time. He's got his 50 crystals on his neck, and then he's got his like Wagyu beef, that breakfast burrito that he had the food truck guy make him, who was probably like, oh, my ingredients aren't good enough. But guess what? He probably tipped him a ton.
Exactly.
And then I love the exchange, though, where, you know, they have the talk about Sean and Audrina, and then you see Brody, this confidence Brody has. Like, Brody, I think, really knows in his bones that Audrina is like he could have her at any moment.
100%. I think Brody in his head thinks he can have any girl at any second.
100%.
That's why he didn't like being married, because he was like, all right, well, I need attention from someone else.
Totally. And the way that Spencer like completely just throws Amber out with like the rest of Brody's like roadkill. He's like, well, she's fun to party with. It's like, okay, next scene. And literally they did the next scene. So then, you know, as the episode goes on, you know, there's just this whole thing that's starting to be set up, and I think Audrina is being set up in a way to where there's going to be a fight with her and Heidi. And and first and foremost, you know, they did the push of her dating Sean, and I think that, you know, Heidi really was kind of hoping she'd be with a good guy. And I think she was really team Sean because he's friends with Spencer. By the way, the breakup scene, let's pause and talk about that.
Let's talk about this. Which was supposed to be like a romantic night. They're in downtown LA, which is so not Audrina. So she's like, oh, downtown. She's so like not into this. She can't even fake it.
She can't fake it. Her face is literally like she's showing her teeth like all the time.
She is.
Like she's gritting them because she's so uncomfortable. And then Sean does this thing where he's like leans in.
Yeah, he tries to get like weirdly close to her even at a distance. Like he just wants to be near her. I don't know. He's way into her and she is completely not into him. So she's using this like romantic date as a time to break up with him. She can't do it any longer.
I almost had like, go girl, you really told him the truth. When she was like, you know, I'm not feeling, you know, the kind of emotions that I should be feeling. And then she goes and she like kind of does that like what I call the tap dance away from it of like trying to take away the sting out of it. And she says to him, you know, with my life right now and like there's just too much going on. I'm like, no. We don't need the filler words. You're a grown ass woman. Just look him in the eye and say, you know what? It's not going to happen. I'm not attracted to you. I don't care if she had the clearest schedule in the world and no man looked at her. She would never hook up with Sean Stewart.
Nope.
No. So then they kind of just end it. I felt like poor Sean like didn't even get a nice exit. Like they didn't even get a hug.
No, just that he just took a sip of his wine and
did they eat the sushi? I
don't think they did. I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, did she say this at the beginning when they first got there and then they have to awkwardly have dinner? Or
it's like a Bachelor episode where like the dinner's there.
Yes, and they have the rose and then they don't give them the rose.
Because they already know, like they were supposed to eat dinner, but like they are talking and the guy's like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Or the girl's like, and then the guy's like, screw this. I'm not going to eat my sushi and their food, by the way, sits out. I've watched a few of those episodes. The food that they eat in these things usually is sitting there for the whole taping. So they probably don't even eat it anyway. But this one was like, I wanted to eat the sushi.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
It did.
Sean, if you're in town and you can take me out, I'm a married woman, but that sushi looked really good.
Yeah. Whoever that sushi chef made that, let's do it.
I love it. So then this is where we get to the big climactic sober shower.
Yep.
Oy. So there's this whole thing where the guests are coming in. And one of the guests is one of their extra friends, Caroline.
Yeah.
And she had confessed before the shower to a friend of hers that she was having feelings for Brody's ex, Caitlin.
Yep.
They really set this up in all the trailers, alluding to Caitlin maybe exploring more of this side of her sexuality.
Yes.
And oh my God, it was about as cringe as the breakup with Audrina and Sean. What were your thoughts on this?
Well, throughout this whole episode, I mean, in the past episodes, I could tell that Caroline was like flirty with Caitlyn, and I got the vibe. But then this one was like, it's in your face. When she's talking about, Caitlyn's talking about what she's going to wear and stuff, and Caroline said some like really awkward things, and Caitlyn's face is a dead giveaway. She's like, oh, okay. Caroline, okay, so she's known everyone, you know, before the show. She's from Malibu. She went to Malibu High. She went to school with Brody. And she recently got a divorce from her husband. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of in the same boat. And she expresses her feelings to Caitlyn, who Caitlyn, I feel like she probably already knew that this was coming. Mm-hmm. She just wants to stay friends with her. And she also, which I respect Caitlyn for saying this to Caroline. She's like, you know, you're newly single. Mm-hmm. And I know that like that, you know, you want to explore things, but take the time to like discover yourself and everything before you just jump into something. Because I think the way Caroline was wording it, she's like, I have feelings for you. She was wanting to like jump into a relationship with Caitlyn, and Caitlin's like, no, slow your roll. Just like take some time and just figure herself out. Because I think Caroline was married to her husband for quite a while.
She was, and she hung out with Caitlyn and Brody, like married couple.
Yeah.
I mean, it would totally be like if me and Johnny and you and Hassan, and I'm like, I mean, no.
Yeah.
If I think if she could have done it this way, if she would have said, you know what, I'm feeling all kinds of feelings right now. I feel alone. I'm really enjoying our time together.
Yeah.
I would have asked Caitlyn and been like, when you were thinking about exploring a relationship with a woman, like, how was that for you? Did it feel strange? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to have those feelings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm confusing them, because I'm spending a lot of time with you, and I love being around you, and I find you beautiful and sexy, and I have feelings that are of attraction. Mm-hmm. Like if she would have just voiced it that way and not made it so dramatic, like I have feelings for you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you respond to that?
Exactly. Especially if you're a friend and you don't want to ruin your friendship, because they've been friends for a long time.
And
so
they're at a baby shower.
Yeah.
And Brody's there.
Yeah. So I think Caroline now has a boyfriend, like in real time. Yeah. So I think that they're probably fine.
Yeah.
I think that conversation is over with. It's almost like you had to rip the Band-Aid off and see what her response was. So. And
I also think that they set it up to where maybe if Justin... 100%. To where maybe we're seeing now Caitlyn is not put in, she's put in that kind of non-binary, like exploring, like I'm not, just because I, had a relationship with Miley Cyrus doesn't mean that I'm going to just be into women now.
Exactly. I 100% see her and I actually think they would make a great couple.
I think they'd be an awesome couple.
So I actually hope that something happens there.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Me too. And I liked how they interluded Justin a little bit in this episode, but not too much.
He's talking a lot more about having a family, having a wife and kids.
He's getting his house in order for relationship. He's never had his house in order.
Yeah.
He's had conflict with his family.
Exactly.
He's always been this kind of roguish, like into himself thing. And he's making room for having a family and being like mature.
Yeah.
So then, the end of this episode obviously is like, Ashley talking to Audrina about Heidi. And I think Audrina has really set herself up in so many episodes where she's kind of inserting herself too much into things. And the way that she talked to Heidi was very kind of, she was not putting out the fire.
Yeah.
She was fueling Heidi's fire.
Exactly. Well, and to be fair, I'm not the biggest Ashley fan. That's her name, right? Ashley. Yeah. But Audrina told Heidi that it was a baby shower reveal, and Ashley's like, wait, what? Like, you told her what this is? I thought that. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I accidentally said announcement. I'm like, dude, Audrina, keep the secret. Like, this is, she trusted you with this. Like, that was one thing where I was like, okay.
And it was and it is a little dig, because we all know it's not like Heidi and Spencer are keeping it quiet that they're trying to have babies.
Exactly.
It's just like setting things up to where Heidi's going to not only feel butthurt about the fact that, she's trying to have a baby, Ashley's pregnant, then she's like being criticized for being drinking too much and partying for the couple that's the king and queen of sober.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously going to put fuel to the fire, and Audrina's not helping either of the friends.
I think Audrina has a hard time standing ground, and I think she wants to make everyone happy, and it's gonna
bite her in the ass.
It's
because you can't be two-faced. You can't be two-faced. You can't talk shit on one person and then not the other.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't know why Ashley even wanted Heidi at the shower, because she talks so much crap on her that I'm like, you don't like her.
Exactly. Like, you can't say, and Audrina has told Heidi what Ashley has said about her. So you can't expect, you know, someone that you talk so much crap on to be there for that's just, you can't expect that. You can't have everything.
Cringy moment, cringy shower, and it ends with the ultimate cringe with the bizarre
baby.
Sumo wrestler baby that's exploding blue gas out of its mouth, and it's bizarre. It's like a rave crack baby that comes out. And
Audrina, that's what you came up with?
And everybody's like, I guess it's a boy because we're covered in blue powder.
Yeah.
It literally reminded me of like those music videos where they throw chalk.
Yes.
And like I should be doing ecstasy while I'm doing it, and definitely have a cocktail, not a non-alcoholic champagne glass, trying to figure out if it's a boy or girl. It was a weird ending.
It was a little bit weird, but I'm excited about next week.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. Again, Hills are really bringing it this season. Even my husband is like, when's the next episode on? I'm like, yes. Maybe we can get him on the drama. I love it. Save the drama for your mama.
Yes.
All right. I'll see you guys later. If you liked this episode, or you have any opinions about the crack baby reveal, please give us your comments, anything below. And please click like and subscribe to the Seraphine podcast. Thanks a lot, Chelsea. Love you.
Love you.